Dashing Through the Snow is a new Christmas movie that's been dropped on Disney Plus sort of unceremoniously, and it stars Laurel Howery and Ludacris. Two people that you wouldn't think would be in a Disney Plus Christmas movie, but they are. And thank goodness, because it actually feels like a movie that could have been theatrically released, which is always good. It means that the direction is better, the story is better, the execution is better. Everything actually feels like there was a valid attempt at making a real film and not just regurgitating Christmas holiday garbage that has become the machine that is Hallmark during the holidays. I'm pretty certain they've recycled scripts and people just don't notice because they keep changing character names and cast members. But Dashing Through the Snow is not necessarily the most original plot in the world. It is one of those films where there's a man who is a little jaded about the prospects of Christmas, and he works as a sort of like a mental health counselor, and one day he finds a man in his house, good old Saint Nick, and what does he do with that? Because he normally works with people who are, making wild claims, so he's pretty used to this kind of thing. And that man, played by Laurel, ends up taking him on a journey. And this is great for so many reasons. First of all, Black Santa movies. We do not have enough of them. Second of all, just these two together. Ludacris is not the greatest actor in the world. I was sitting there the whole beginning trying to figure out, it's like, who is this? Because I didn't check it before. And I was like, who is this? And why is their line delivery so bad? But I don't know. He just feels like he's trying. It feels like he's really trying to get it in there. But Lil is sort of natural on camera, so he ends up sort of making up for it. Luda just has too much dialogue. I don't know what to say. And it's outside of his element. He's good with driving fast cars, but being a social worker with kids, just not his thing. It's just not his thing. It wasn't his thing. He did that Queen Latifah movie, and that wasn't his thing either. Are there worse actors? Absolutely. But his dramatic range is not very wide. So, but I thought this was a lot more entertaining than something like Netflix's Best Christmas Ever, which seems to just cast stars and then put them in one of the most, just sort of like a script that could have been written by AI, and a film that could have been directed by AI, I should say. I should be totally honest and just say that movie felt like it could have been just anybody, just some guy on the street. Hey, dude, you want to direct a movie for Netflix? You do? Okay, cool. Come, we got this movie. It's called Best Christmas Ever. It's got Heather Graham in it. You remember her from Austin Powers? Yeah. Okay. This film actually feels like there's a director and a producer and writer, like a whole team behind it. It feels like this could have been in theaters, and that's such a good thing for this project. Even though I didn't think it was necessarily the most original thing in the world, even though the thing I'm most excited about is Black Santa, because I feel like that's such an underrepresented part of the holidays. I love that there's this movie that exists. I feel like we make so many of these movies. It's sort of like, I feel like when Hallmark made its first gay couple movie, there was a big deal about it. They're like, oh, the first one, because there's so many. These films are so generic and so cookie cutter that if you make the slightest change in the plot or in the script or with the cast, suddenly you have a groundbreaking work of art, just a work of staggering genius within this genre. So just the fact that this has a black cast and a black Saint Nick and everything is somehow just makes this relatively I've seen this before film feel like a breath of fresh air in a sea of films where you're just like, didn't I see this last year? Did they make this film last year? Isn't this, I feel like I've seen this before. And you're like, I don't even remember who's in this, and then you can't remember the title of the film years from now. But Dashing Through the Snow is fine. It's fun. It's cute. No, it's not the best thing in the world. It's not gonna, it doesn't slap. It feels like, yeah, they made it and Disney looked at it and maybe they thought about going theatrical, but then they were like, no, this is why we have Disney Plus. But at least it feels like there was like a hope, like there was a budget to this film, maybe a low budget, maybe Disney didn't want to risk too much, but I feel like on the table was if it's really good, we'll send it to theaters. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's really good, we can put this in theaters. We can do a thing where we do the old switcheroo. We'll do the old smile switcheroo and just send it to theaters. So, and you only get that by starting from the very beginning, by treating it like it is a normal project with a normal budget, with a normal film crew, with a normal, like everything just like it's one of your other films, instead of some low budget crap, which is what so many of these films are. So kudos to Dashing Through the Snow for that. And Lil Rel, this is the second thing I've seen him in this year that I thought he was a standout in. I actually really liked The Mill. I thought he was good in that. Didn't love it, but I thought I liked it. Thought he was good in that. Kind of surprised me. So, yeah, he's having a good year of films that I don't think anybody's watching, but they're out there. So maybe people just don't know he's having a good year. But this is fine. Yes, it's derivative, and yeah, my score's not going to be super high, but part of so much of this just made me smile, and I was just like, oh, yeah, not Dashing Through the Snow, it's fine. That derivativeness, the still gives you that sort of like, is this movie really this long? That feeling, like this could be shorter. If once the newness of the situation wears off and you're left with just the plot that you feel like you've heard before, that's when you're like, let's speed it up. Let's get this movie out. It's only about 90 minutes too, so. But oddly enough, runtime became a little bit of an issue for me, simply because I didn't feel like the film was necessarily offering anything different other than the fact that Lil Rel has his own style, has his own brand of humor. Even if it's tempered down to a PG rating, he's still trying to bring his flavor to this role. So that's that. Anyway, the audio description for this I thought was fine. Yes, there's some magical things here because he's Saint Nicholas, and he can do magical things like summon reindeer. So yeah, there's some things here that don't necessarily take place in the real world, like most movies where Santa's involved. So some unexplainable things are being put forth in front of somebody who needs them to be explained, like Tim Allen did in the Santa Claus. But it's still a film that is not terribly hard to describe. It doesn't have a huge cast, and it doesn't have wild settings and everything. So I thought the audio description was fine. I didn't, I don't really have any pluses or minuses. I didn't think it was like exceptional, one of the year's best audio descriptions, but at the same time, I had no problems with it. It did exactly what it needed to do. I never felt like I was lost. So anyway, this was a nice little pleasant thing. It just kind of vomited itself onto Disney Plus, just like appeared. I feel like there was no promotion for it whatsoever. And now Disney has another Christmas movie out called The Naughty Nine. So this didn't even have that long to be on Disney Plus by itself as like a thing, as like ooh, check us out. Now there's another one. Okay. We move quickly. But I'm gonna give Dashing Through the Snow a C+. I thought it was fine. It's fine. It's not great. It's fine. It's if you want to watch it, watch it. If you just are looking for new Christmas movies, this is a lot better. You can do a lot worse. You can do a lot worse. A lot worse. A lot worse. I don't know how else to put emphasis on that. But you guys really need to raise your standards. I don't know. I've never been one to just sit and turn the Hallmark Channel on at the holidays and be like, wow, this is some great cinema here that we are watching. And I like my Christmas movies to feel like they had some effort put into it. Even maybe some stars. Although arguably Hallmark Channel can pull in some stars. TV stars, but I don't need huge names. But there's a huge difference between Christmas classics like Elf and Christmas Story and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and Home Alone and I don't know. I guess I could probably name a random Hallmark movie just by out of thin air coming up with, Racing for the Holidays. It's probably a Hallmark movie. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I also have a website, MacMovieGuy.com. You can follow me on X, Threads, or Instagram at MacMovieGuy. You can go to the Audio Description Project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to the ADNA.org and you can see who is narrating your favorite films and television series. That's it. I will review something else and see you guys on the other side.